Hey everybody, Essence here, and today we are talking about self-forgiveness. And I think this is really important because when I generally work with a client, a lot of times we work on mom or dad stuff, but almost always, like before call one, they change it and say, I think that what I really need is self-forgiveness. I think I just really need to forgive myself. And even at the beginning of a in-person workshop I did the other week, that's one of the first people in the room says, "Is this going to be on self-forgiveness? Because I think I need to forgive myself." And I generally don't work in the beginning at the level of self-forgiveness because that's not where the problem is. And this hasn't even happened where someone has come to me saying, I need to work on forgiving myself because I have done something horrible. I cheated on my mate and ruined our relationship, or I sabotaged the relationship. I ran this person off. Like, I don't get people coming to me saying that. So if they were to come saying that they did something, then yes, we can start at that level of self-forgiveness. But even that may have a deeper root, and them cheating or sabotaging the relationship could just be a manifestation of a deeper issue. And I'll go into that and explain that a little bit more in just a moment. So generally what happens is it's a woman who is saying, yeah, I just want to work on self-forgiveness because I'm really hard on myself. I beat myself up. I put myself down, these types of things. And so maybe you're noticing that you're really hard on yourself. You may say things like, oh, I'm so dumb, or I'm so stupid, I did this or that, or I forgot to do this. Or maybe you push yourself really hard and expect yourself to be this perfect person. And then when you fall short of that mark, you're really hard on yourself. Or maybe even when you do make the accomplishment, you're still picking out all the things you did wrong and what could have been better. You never really celebrate yourself. And so you just have created this unhealthy relationship with yourself, and you want to start from this place of self-forgiveness. And the reason I don't start there is because generally, if you were to start with this level of self-forgiveness, you will be back in this cycle of beating yourself up and calling yourself dumb and stupid probably in the next 30 days because you're just working at the level of the problem. So that would be like if I'm having a problem with this flower, let's say it was a plant in the grass and they're brown. That's not so much the issue. The issue would be with the roots. Like I'd need to start working with the soil and the water in order to get this to be different. So me just fluffing these or doing this isn't necessarily going to change the leaves, right? So you working at the level of self-forgiveness is not necessarily going to change the way you speak to yourself in your relationship with yourself, because it is often a manifestation of how you were treated as a child. So, if your mom or dad was hard on you and they pushed you, like if you were in sports and you're at one competition after the next, and then you have to get A's or you bring home a B, and they're like, and your hardest subject, you get a B plus. And they're like, where you should bring home an A. And then when you bring home an A, they're like, you better do this again. There's no moments of celebration. And when you do bring home an A and they say, well, you got this one wrong, you could have been an A plus. This is what starts that pattern of of self-hatred or that critical voice. So the critical voice in your head that you're living with today is not even your critical voice. It's the voice of the critical parent. And so if we don't begin to heal that voice, those deeper emotions that are still stored there from when you were pushed, when you were made to feel stupid, when you were made to feel not good enough, if we don't heal and resolve that, your relationship with yourself, or this newfound commitment to be nicer to yourself is not going to stick. You're going to revert back to the old pattern. That old voice is going to continue because it's like a tape recorder that is just like on a loop. So we have to kind of snip that tape, right? So you can reinstall a new way of thinking and speaking to yourself. And this is so important for you to get. So even this person coming to me saying, oh, I cheated on my boyfriend and it's been over for 6 months and I just can't live with myself. Even that person, yes, we would do this self-forgiveness work, but I would also say, did anyone cheat in your family? Was there any infidelity? Was your family broken apart due to infidelity? Like, let's talk about that, because a lot of times it's something like that, some deeper pain from your childhood that is the manifestation that created you sabotaging the relationship. And so we would need to work on both of those things to shift the energy within you so you will stop recreating your past, right? When that energy is still alive in you, you'll recreate that past. You'll still act in that certain way, even though you may say, I will never cheat like my dad. You end up cheating, or you end up being with a married person. You end up doing the exact thing you said you would never do because that energy is still alive in you. And so this doing the healing work is not about blaming your parents, yet expecting your parents to be perfect. No, it's about going in and feeling the feelings and moving through them, shifting your perception. And just you talking about maybe how your parents may have made you feel, that isn't placing a blame on them. That's allowing yourself to and your feelings to be expressed constructively and in the space of healing, in the space of spirit. And when you do that, transformation begins to happen. So I don't want people to think that it's really just all about blaming your parents. No, it's recognizing where the root of some of these issues come from, and then us moving through that. We don't stay at the level of being upset with your parents. But I wanted to share this. Someone emailed me asking me about this, and this I felt like would just be much more helpful to create this video than a super long email. All right, hope this helps. And if it does, I would love to hear from you, hear your thoughts and feedback on this video. And if you're at this place of being curious about, oh, should I work on self-forgiveness? Where should I start? Whatever your issue is with yourself, ask yourself, where did this come from? When did this start? Did I learn how to treat myself like this from someone else? Journal it out. Get some clarity. All right, talk to you later. Bye.